Walmart employees get a front row view of how people really shop. And after years of watching carts roll through, they've seen every kind of purchase from brilliant budget moves to costly mistakes that fly under most shoppers' radar. While some deals look too good to pass up, employees say a surprising number of home items actually end up being poor investments. And now, they're speaking out to warn the rest of us. In this video, we're unpacking 12 home items from Walmart that workers strongly advise skipping no matter how appealing the price might be. Some of these may genuinely surprise you. In fact, number 1 is something most shoppers have bought at least once, and it might be quietly draining your wallet while you think you're getting a deal. Stick around until the end. Dodging even one of these common traps could easily save you hundreds in 2025. And before we jump in, go ahead and tap the like button and subscribe to this channel, your go-to source for shopping smarter, saving more, and sidestepping the money pits big retailers hope you'll overlook. Let's get started. 12. Bargain shower heads. Walmart employees say budget shower heads are some of the most frequently returned products in the home department, and once you hear why, it makes total sense. These low-cost models often look sleek in the packaging, but once installed, they rarely deliver. They're typically made with cheap plastic that warps under hot water, connectors that leak, and nozzles that produce barely enough pressure to rinse your hair. The frustration builds quickly. As one employee noted, installed today, leaking by tomorrow. These models often can't handle daily use. Seals fail, plastic cracks, and the water flow becomes more of a dribble than a shower. Some even emit odd noises or uneven sprays due to poor pressure control. That affordable upgrade ends up being a daily annoyance. Employees recommend skipping the bargain bin and opting for a solid brand like Delta or Moan instead. While they cost more upfront, these models offer strong water pressure, resist heat damage, and actually last. A reliable shower isn't just a luxury, it can set the tone for your whole day. Don't let a $15 gamble ruin it. When you're standing in the aisle comparing shower heads, it's easy to think, how different can they really be? A $15 model and a $45 model might even look almost identical at a glance, but there's a reason the lower-priced ones consistently fail to meet expectations. Most budget shower heads use a process called single-shot molding. It's cheap, fast, and produces lightweight plastic parts. But those parts aren't built to withstand daily exposure to high temperatures, steam, or mineral-heavy water. They deform, crack, and lose pressure far faster than metal or reinforced polymer counterparts. Another major issue: water regulation components. Inside a quality shower head, you'll often find rubber washers and seals made to last years. In the budget versions, these are swapped for foam or low-grade silicone that deteriorates after a few months. It's not always visible, but it's absolutely the reason leaks and sputtering water patterns show up almost immediately. This is one of those purchases where what you don't see in the packaging matters most. A smooth chrome finish may look high-end, but if the internal components are fragile, that price tag quickly makes sense, and not in a good way. 11. Walmart store brand bath towels. On the shelf, Walmart's private label bath towels seem like a cozy deal, soft, plush, and perfect for sprucing up your bathroom without spending a fortune. But workers say that softness is short-lived. After just a few washes, the towels become thin, scratchy, and surprisingly ineffective. They go from fluffy to sandpaper in no time, one employee admitted. The towels tend to shed excessively in the wash, lose their absorbency, and develop a rough texture that's far from what you felt in the store. Some customers even report lint sticking to their skin or the fabric stiffening up no matter how gently they launder them. It's a classic case of false value. What felt like a steal becomes a regret after the first rinse. Instead, employees recommend looking for better quality cotton or even Turkish cotton towels. Walmart carries those too. You just have to dig a little. Spending a bit more upfront means your towels stay soft, absorbent, and actually hold up to regular use. When it comes to bath towels, a common trick in the textile world is surface treatment. Many lower-end towel brands, including some private label ones sold at Walmart, coat their fabric with a softening agent or silicone-based finish during manufacturing. This gives the towel that initial ultra-soft, velvety feel in the store. The problem? That coating washes out after just 1 or 2 laundry cycles, revealing the true quality of the cotton underneath, which is usually low thread count, short staple cotton. That's why the towel feels drastically different after the first wash. Plus, low-quality cotton frays and pills quickly, which is why you'll see excessive lint in your dryer or fibers sticking to your skin. And because these towels use loosely woven yarn to reduce costs, They lose shape, absorb less, and even become smelly faster because they retain moisture instead of releasing it easily during drying. In short, that $6 towel may seem like a budget win, but if it needs replacing every few months, it's not saving you anything. 10. Plastic storage bins. Clear plastic storage bins may look like the perfect organizing tool, but employees say they're a headache waiting to happen. These bins are often returned due to cracking, warped lids, or snapping handles, sometimes after just a single use. While they appear sturdy on the shelf, the plastic is usually thin and brittle. Lids don't always close properly, and handles tend to fail under even light loads. If you try to stack them, the bottom bins often collapse under the weight, causing spills and frustration. As one associate said, people return them saying they couldn't even hold holiday decorations. That initial tidy organization turns into a mess fast. The smarter move? Opt for heavy-duty options from brands like Rubbermaid or Sterilite. They're designed to carry real weight, stack securely, and actually survive being moved between rooms, closets, or even the attic. When you need to protect your belongings, durability isn't optional, it's essential. Let's face it, home organization is a booming market. From closet makeovers to garage cleanouts, people love a tidy space. And Walmart's stack of clear plastic storage bins seems like the perfect, affordable solution. But there's a hidden problem most shoppers miss: impact resistance. Cheap storage bins often use low-density polyethylene, which keeps manufacturing costs low, but results in brittle plastic. This is the kind of material that can crack if it's dropped or even if it's cold outside and you move it suddenly. Handles snap, lids don't seal tightly, and stacking becomes risky. Better brands use high-impact polypropylene or reinforced polymer blends. These hold shape, resist pressure, and won't shatter if bumped. When storing important items like seasonal decorations, documents, or family keepsakes, the quality of your bin shouldn't be an afterthought. And ironically, after replacing a cheap bin 2 or 3 times, most people end up spending more than if they'd bought a better one up front. 9. Mainstays furniture, desks, bookshelves, etc. Walmart's Mainstays furniture line is budget-friendly, but employees say the savings come at a steep cost and quality. Made from low-density particle board with weak fasteners and flimsy construction, these items look fine in the box but fall short in daily use. "Shakes more than my hands before coffee," one employee joked. And it's not far off. Customers often report desks that sag under the weight of a laptop, bookshelves that lean awkwardly, or nightstands that chip just from being moved across the floor. And heaven help you, if you ever try to take one apart and reassemble it, they rarely survive the process. What seems like a deal ends up being a constant source of annoyance. Instead, employees suggest investing in better-built furniture, even if it's from another line within Walmart. Solid wood, metal frames, or modular pieces may cost more, but they offer stability, durability, and actual longevity. When it comes to furniture, buying cheap often means buying twice. Flat-pack furniture has become a home staple, and for good reason. It's affordable, easy to transport, and looks decent in photos. But here's the inside scoop. When companies make ultra-cheap flat-pack furniture, they cut costs in 2 areas: materials and engineering. Mainstays furniture, for example, often relies on particle board held together by cam screws or small metal pegs. These joinery methods are fine for occasional use, but they don't hold up well under regular wear, shifting, or any kind of weight imbalance. And because the laminate finish is paper thin, even something as simple as a water ring from a cup or bumping into it with a vacuum can leave permanent damage. What makes it worse, these pieces are rarely designed for disassembly. So if you ever move apartments, reconfigure your space, or need to transport them elsewhere, chances are good they'll break during the process. The result? A piece of furniture that might look nice for a few weeks but becomes a source of stress shortly after. When it comes to things like desks, bookcases, or nightstands, durability should never be sacrificed for aesthetics. 8. Air mattresses. Few products draw more frustration than Walmart's budget air mattresses. Over and over, employees hear the same story. "It deflated before I even got through the night." These mattresses might look comfy in the store, but once you lie down, they often begin losing air within hours. The main culprits: weak seams, poor valve design, and materials too thin to maintain pressure. One associate noted that many returns come from customers who used them just once and never got a second chance. Even worse, the included patch kits rarely solve the issue. They might provide a short-term fix, but recurring leaks from even basic movement are all too common. that leaves you or your guests waking up on the floor sore and annoyed. Employees recommend investing in trusted brands like Coleman or Sound Asleep. These options feature better seals, reinforced materials, and consistent comfort that lasts through the night. When it comes to sleep, especially for guests or emergencies, don't roll the dice on disappointment. Air mattresses have always felt like a convenient solution for guests, camping, or unexpected overnights. But here's the thing. They're one of the most technically fragile products in the home goods space. Lower-end models, sold at big box retailers like Walmart, often use PVC that's too thin to handle shifting pressure, particularly around seams and valves. Add in low-quality welding during manufacturing, and you have a product that's almost guaranteed to leak after just a few inflations. Even temperature changes affect them. Colder air causes contraction, meaning a perfectly inflated bed at night can feel half deflated by morning, even without a puncture. And then there's the issue of poor internal support systems. Better air mattresses have vertical beams or internal coils to keep weight distributed. The cheaper ones use little more than inflated pockets, which collapse under pressure, giving you the dreaded sleeping in a ditch feeling by 3 a.m. These aren't just minor inconveniences, they can mean the difference between a good night's sleep and waking up sore, cold, and annoyed. 7. Then shower curtain liners. Those ultra-affordable shower curtain liners might seem like a simple buy, but Walmart employees say they're one of the biggest letdowns in the bath aisle. The material is so lightweight and flimsy that it can tear just from pulling it slightly, and even worse, it often clings to your legs while you're trying to shower. But the biggest issue isn't the annoyance, it's the hygiene. These liners trap moisture almost instantly, creating the perfect environment for mold and mildew to thrive. One customer reportedly told an employee, "It looked fine until it didn't," which pretty much sums up the problem. By the time you notice that musty smell or those little black spots, the damage is already done. Employees say these liners usually end up in the trash within weeks. Instead, they suggest spending just a few bucks more on a mildew-resistant option with thicker material and weighted edges. You'll get better durability, cleaner air, and a bathroom that feels and smells fresher. Save yourself the hassle and skip the mold magnets. Budget shower liners may seem harmless, but the materials used are often non-breathable PVC, which traps moisture. Combine that with thin construction that clings to your body, and you've got a petri dish hanging in your bathroom. Mold spores only need a bit of moisture and warmth to grow, and thin liners often dry unevenly, especially around folds and seams. Once the mold sets in, even bleach or cleaning sprays can't completely remove the stains. Higher quality liners often include microbial treatments or use EVA or PEVA materials, which are less prone to bacterial growth. They'd also tend to be thicker, weighted at the bottom, and designed to dry faster, reducing buildup. So what looks like a simple bath accessory actually plays a bigger role in your home's hygiene than most people realize. 6. Walmart store brand light bulbs. Store brand light bulbs may seem like a budget-friendly swap, but according to employees, they're one of the most returned items in the entire lighting section. Customers often come back frustrated after just a few weeks, complaining about flickering lights, inconsistent brightness, or bulbs that burn out entirely. They're supposed to last years, but people show up with duds after a month, one employee shared. And the inconvenience goes beyond swapping out a bulb, it's the wasted time, the trips up the ladder, and the dim rooms in between. In hard-to-reach fixtures like ceiling fans or stairwell lights, these bulbs quickly become more trouble than they're worth. That's why staff recommend sticking with reliable brands like GE, Philips, or Sylvania. They may cost a little more, but they're engineered to last, maintain color consistency, and avoid the irritating flicker. In the long run, one quality bulb is cheaper than replacing 5 cheap ones. Energy efficiency is often used as a marketing tactic, but when it comes to budget light bulbs, efficiency is only half the story. What employees know, and most shoppers don't, is that cheap bulbs often lack regulators and thermal management systems. That means they burn out quickly under high heat, such as in recessed lighting or enclosed fixtures. Inconsistent brightness is another symptom. It's usually caused by cheap or unshielded LEDs that flicker as they age. Worse, many store-brand bulbs come from generic factories overseas, where quality control isn't as stringent as with big-name brands. So even though the bulb might technically meet certification standards, it doesn't mean it's built to last. The inconvenience of constantly changing bulbs, especially in ceiling fixtures or stairwells, is one of those little frustrations that adds up both mentally and financially. 5. Small kitchen appliances, toasters, blenders, etc. Walmart's shelves are loaded with compact kitchen gadgets, toasters, blenders, egg cookers, sandwich makers, many priced under $30. But employees warn that while these tools look convenient, they rarely deliver reliable performance. It stopped working after 2 uses is a complaint staff hear constantly, especially with Mainstays brand appliances. Customers often report motors that burn out, buttons that jam, or blades that can't even blend a banana. Instead of making breakfast easier, they turn your routine into a daily struggle. That's why employees suggest investing in known names like Ninja, Hamilton Beach, or Cuisinart. These brands are built to handle real use and last more than just a few mornings. When you're groggy and just want your toast or smoothie, you need something that works, not a device that gives up before your coffee finishes brewing. Kitchen gadgets like mini griddles, cheap coffee makers, and off-brand blenders are often impulse buys, especially when they're under $30. But most people don't realize these appliances are designed with short life cycles in mind. Motors are usually underpowered, internal wiring is thin and unshielded, and components like buttons or knobs are made of the cheapest plastic available. So while they might work fine once or twice, consistent use quickly exposes their flaws. And let's talk about safety. Many of these products have no thermal shoot-off, meaning they overheat if left running too long, especially common in older blenders or toasters. The better option is to buy fewer, multifunctional appliances with higher durability. That $145 appliance that lasts 5 years beats $315 gadgets that burn out before their second recipe. 4. Budget laundry baskets and hampers. At first glance, Walmart's affordable laundry baskets look like a sensible buy. But employees say they're one of the most complained about products in the home aisle, and the reasons are hard to miss. These baskets tend to crack, bend, or snap under even light laundry loads. The handles often break with minimal use, and the plastic warps when moved across carpet or downstairs. One employee said customers frequently return with the broken pieces in hand, frustrated that a single load caused a total collapse. Instead of relying on flimsy plastic, staff recommend buying hampers made from reinforced materials, either heavy-duty plastic or fabric lined with sturdy frames. A reliable basket might cost a little more, but it'll handle stairs, heavy jeans, and wet towels without crumbling. Your laundry routine should include carrying clothes by hand after your basket bites the dust. It's just a basket, right? Not quite. Laundry baskets face regular stress from being pulled upstairs to carrying heavy, wet loads. Cheaper models are made with mold-injected plastic that's thin and rigid, which might hold up when empty but tends to crack under pressure. Plus, handles are often just extensions of the rim, meaning any twist or sideways pressure puts strain on the weakest point. Once a crack starts, the whole thing's compromised. Fabric hampers with internal frames or woven baskets with reinforced corners are better suited to daily use. They flex when needed, distribute weight more evenly, and survive being dropped or bumped far better. Over time, a more durable hamper isn't just about convenience, it protects your time, energy, and floor from spilled socks. 3. Cheap wall clocks and discount decor. Walmart's inexpensive wall decor, especially clocks and accent pieces, can look like a designer steal. But employees say these items are some of the first to fail after purchase. Whether it's a ticking wall clock that stops ticking or a decorative frame that peels or warps, the quality rarely holds up. Shoppers often return with broken clock hands, cracked plastic frames, or art pieces that arrived chipped. Worse, many decorative items are so poorly made that even light cleaning or moving causes damage. The cheap price tag might look nice in your cart, but it's often followed by disappointment at home. That's why employees recommend choosing decor from more reliable brands. If you're going to hang something on your wall, you want it to last and not fall apart before the season changes. With home accents, style matters, but so does substance. Go for pieces that can stand the test of time. Low-cost wall clocks and home decor may grab attention for their style, but the price you pay is often for form over function. Decorative clocks at this price point rarely include accurate timekeeping mechanisms, and the hands can become unbalanced or dislodged from minor movement. Painted decor may use ink-based coatings instead of UV-protected finishes, which means fading, peeling, or bubbling under sunlight or humidity. Cheap adhesives and thin backing boards warp, especially in non-climate-controlled rooms. Home decor should feel like a lasting part of your environment. When pieces start falling apart after just a season or two, it creates an ongoing cycle of spending that never quite adds up to satisfaction. 2. Generic rugs and floor mats. Soft underfoot, stylish to look at generic rugs and mats at Walmart seem like a great buy. but employees say they're one of the most misleading items in the entire store. These rugs are often returned for issues like fraying, shedding, sliding around, or flattening within days. One major concern is safety. Employees hear constant complaints about rugs that become tripping hazards once they lose grip. In homes with kids, seniors, or pets, a sliding rug is more than a nuisance, it's dangerous. And if you try to clean them, many don't survive a trip through the vacuum, let alone the washing machine. That's why workers suggest opting for non-slip, low-pile rugs from trusted brands. Look for reinforced backing and machine-washable fabrics. A well-made rug should add comfort and safety to your space, not become another item on your return list. Rugs and mats sold at bargain prices often skip key safety features like non-slip backing or reinforced stitching. Without these, a rug might look plush but will slide underfoot or curl at the corners within a week. Even worse, they often can't be cleaned properly. Vacuuming can shred fibers, and machine washing leads to crumbling rubber backings or complete disintegration. If a rug turns into a safety hazard after a couple of uses, was it ever really a good deal? Spending a bit more on a rug that stays put, survives cleaning, and holds shape over time means fewer replacements and a safer home. 1. Extended warranties for home goods. This one gets the biggest eye roll from Walmart staff. While extended warranties are often pitched as peace of mind at the checkout counter, employees say they're more often a source of regret. Many of these plans are filled with exclusions, difficult claims processes, and third-party providers that make you jump through hoops to get help. It sounds good in theory, one associate said, but by the time you need it, good luck getting anyone to actually approve your claim. Most shoppers don't even read the fine print until it's too late, and by then, the warranty rarely covers what broke. Unless you're buying a big-ticket appliance or high-end tech item, staff say you're better off skipping the extra charge. That money could go toward a better product to begin with, or just stay in your pocket for future replacements. In many cases, extended warranties on low-cost home goods are nothing more than expensive false promises. Let's be real, most people aren't reading the fine print when they opt into extended warranties at the register. And retailers bank on that. These plans are usually administered by third-party companies with layers of approval requirements and tons of exclusions. From coverage that only kicks in after the manufacturer's warranty expires, meaning you're double covered for a year, but still on your own after, to terms that exclude almost everything that could actually go wrong, the protection they offer is minimal. And that frustrating experience of trying to file a claim. It's often enough to make most people give up, meaning the warranty ends up being a sunk cost. Unless you're buying something complex, expensive, or likely to break in a way you know is covered, most home goods warranties are best skipped. When you step into a store like Walmart, it's easy to get swept up in the illusion of value. The shelves are organized to catch your eye, with bright packaging, big saving signs, and shelf tags that nudge you toward what looks like the smartest deal. But behind the scenes, many of these so-called bargains come with trade-offs that aren't obvious until the product is in your home or already in the trash. Take a step back and you'll notice a pattern across these 12 home items. They often share one or more of three critical flaws: fragility, poor longevity, and the illusion of savings. What's especially frustrating is that most of these items are things you rely on daily: towels, light bulbs, furniture, even the bins you use to clean up your space. So when they fail, the inconvenience adds up fast. But why do shoppers keep buying them? A lot of these purchases fall into what retail psychology calls placeholder buying, the idea that you'll grab something cheap for now, planning to upgrade later. You pick up that $8 towel set or $25 desk, thinking it'll serve its purpose in the short term. But that mindset often leads to more spending over time, not less. In many cases, the low-cost product doesn't just underperform, it disrupts your day. That shower head that can't hold pressure. Now your mornings are slower. The hamper that cracked under a single load. Now laundry is a juggling act. These aren't luxury items, they're foundational tools in your daily life. And when they don't work, the ripple effect is real. There's a saying in the home improvement world: buy nice or buy twice. And it applies here more than ever. Every time you replace a failed product, you're not just spending more money, you're also investing more time, energy, and sometimes frustration than the item ever warranted in the first place. For example, buying 3 $10 storage bins over the course of a year doesn't just cost $30, it also means reorganizing your closet multiple times, cleaning up spilled contents, and possibly replacing what was inside if it got damaged. That's a hidden cost no one talks about at the checkout. This is especially true for items that you think of as set it and forget it, like light bulbs, rugs, or shower liners. These are things you expect to work quietly in the background. When they don't, they become mini emergencies that interrupt your flow and quietly chip away at your patience. Another big contributor to buyer regret: visual design that hides poor quality. Many of these items are dressed up to look more expensive than they really are. A chrome finish on a plastic shower head, a rug with an intricate pattern but no backing, or a bookshelf in a faux oak tone, all of it is designed to trigger that "wow, what a deal" response. But once the packaging is gone and the item is in use, the shortcut becomes obvious. Manufacturers know that the majority of purchasing decisions happen in seconds. So if a product looks modern, clean, or good enough on the surface, most shoppers won't pause to consider the material, construction, or brand reputation. In this way, price becomes a distraction and presentation becomes the sales tool. It's not until the cracks show up, figuratively or literally, that shoppers realize the value wasn't really there. There's also something to be said about the over-commoditization of home essentials. As products become mass-produced for ultra-low price points, manufacturers have no choice but to compromise. It's not just about profit, it's about volume. When you're churning out hundreds of thousands of shower curtains or table lamps every month, you optimize for shipping weight, raw materials cost, and factory speed, not durability or user experience. That's how we end up with laundry baskets that snap under normal use or appliances that can't toast bread evenly. This high turnover, low investment design approach is deeply embedded in budget-tier product lines, especially house brands. They're not meant to last years. They're designed to be replaced, which can be fine, until you realize the long-term cost. Another overlooked factor is the friction of returns. Many people don't take the time to return broken or disappointing items, even when they're unhappy with them. It's just not worth the hassle for a $10 bath mat or $20 coffee maker. That's part of the business model. These low-cost items fly under the radar when they fail, and because few complaints are formally filed, they stay on the shelf. So even though Walmart employees may hear about these problems frequently on the floor, the lack of official returns data can make it seem like just a few isolated issues. In reality, it's often a quiet majority of disappointed customers who never say anything at all. The result? These items keep selling because people assume they're working for everyone else. In contrast, the alternative, choosing fewer, better-made items, can seem intimidating up front. Spending $40 on a towel or $60 on a storage unit might feel excessive, but those items often last 5 to 10 times longer than their cheap counterparts. If you start to think in terms of cost per use, the math flips completely. A $50 air mattress that lasts 10 uses costs you $5 per night. A $20 mattress that fails after 2 nights? That's $10 per night, plus the inconvenience. This buy-it-for-life mentality isn't about spending wildly, it's about investing intentionally. The truth is, we're often so focused on savings at the register that we forget about savings over time. And there you have it, 12 home items that Walmart employees say just aren't worth your cash. While some may seem like smart savings, the people who see the returns, complaints, and customer frustration day in and day out know better. To be clear, this isn't a knock against Walmart. In fact, this channel is all about helping shoppers make better, more informed decisions. There are still plenty of great deals at Walmart, you just have to know what to skip and what to splurge on. So which one surprised you most? Or maybe you've already fallen into one of these traps yourself. Share your story in the comments, I read every single one. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and subscribe to this channel for more real-world tips to help you spend smarter and save more. And if you want more insider picks and honest advice, don't miss the next video. It's packed with info you'll want before your next shopping trip. Catch you there.